What's up guys, welcome to Daily Refinement. In today's video, I'm going to give you the exact blueprint to make between $37 an hour and $150 an hour, and the exact overview of making $100,000 a year, which is $2,000 per week. So I appreciate you guys. Please smash the like button, consider subscribing. We'll see you inside. We're going to go over all the steps required to make a full-time living on eBay or Poshmark or Mercari or Amazon. It's all the same essentially. Reselling is just finding the items and then processing them. So we're going to go over step by step what we go over in our mentorship, which is at patreon.com/resellers podcast. I'm going to go over all these things one by one. So this is set up to make $2,000 a week in 11 hours a day, including 1 hour for lunch. So about 10 hours a day. Most people don't want to work 10 hours a day. I'm just setting it up if you wanted to make six figures, a realistic schedule. If you just want to make $50,000 a year, which is about $1,000 per week with 2 weeks off, you only need to work 5 hours a day, which is what most people are looking for. So I'm going to give you guys the breakdown right here. It's based on $2,000 a week, and you can always scale it down to however you want to do it. This is $2,000 profit per week, working 5 days a week with 2 days off. I think it's very realistic because most people want to take the weekends off, or if you're working for yourself or you're at home taking care of the household, sometimes things get in the way. So this is just assuming 5 days of work. It's assuming $10 profit per item and 200 items per week. So hopefully that makes sense. 200 items times $10 profit per item, that's $2,000 per week. And again, you don't need to do 200. You could do 20 times 10, and that's an extra $200 a week, still respectable. And 20 items, if you use what we learn in this group, is still going to only take you 1 hour per day. So imagine 1 hour per day, extra $200 a week. That's a great income. So next is the average listings for the working day is going to be 40 per day. So that means that you're doing 40 listings 5 times a week, but you're averaging around 30 something per day because you're building listings to launch on the weekends so that you can stay consistent. In this example today, we're going over the plan to do $37 an hour. But if you are fully optimized, everything is running as fast as possible, you can earn up to $160 an hour. And a lot of resellers do that. There are resellers that only work 5 hours a week and make around $800 to $1,000. If you're being really efficient and working the most, you're going to be in that top 20% of resellers that makes all the money. What you want to do is learn the exact steps in this video, join the mentorship group, and let people know in the group, there's 2,700 people in the group now, which part of these steps you're struggling with so that we can help you grow. In this example, you need 2,867 items in your store. 2,867. This number, it says round up to 3,000. So 3,000 items in your store, 1% sell-through rate is 30 sales a day. Hopefully that's making sense. 30 sales a day times $10 profit is over $100,000 a year in profit. That's how this math works. So hopefully that makes sense. If you decide you don't want to work that much, you can work half as much, you can work 10% as much, and just adjust. But I think people greatly underestimate how much time it takes to actually build a resale business. The first one, I recommend everybody does this in the beginning, is you complete your eBay customer service. This is answering questions, maintaining your account health. You do that first thing in the morning, because if somebody says, I want to cancel my order, I want to combine shipping, I want to do something, but you do that after you're already done shipping, you're in big trouble because you just shipped out an order that somebody didn't want, or they wanted to combine order, so you miss out on more profit. So make sure that you take care of all your customer service first thing. After that, go pick your items from your inventory system. If you have a chronological system like we talk about in this group, it's just one lap. So essentially, let's say number 15, number 50, and number 100 sold. You'd walk in order, 15, 50, 100, put it in your basket, pick all your items, then pack, make all your packages, all your poly mailers, do all that at one time. I always do it in order. That way everything's packed and ready to go. Then I print my labels and finish shipping. So depending on what you sell, if it's boxed, I always pre-box everything so I know the weight and dimensions as I'm going. If it's all first class mail, it's actually faster to put it in the poly mailer while you're printing the labels, because printing the labels takes about 20 seconds. So during that process, while you're waiting for the computer to load the label, you put everything into the bag and then go. So this is why where people say, oh, I just bulk print all my labels and it's way faster. It's not way faster because you have to organize the items first, which takes time. If you just put them all next to your shipping station, you don't have to organize them. You can just pick one item at a time and ship in order, and you skip the sorting time before. So There's a very specific reason why we do this in order. Customer service, pick, pack, print. Now you have the most important part of your eBay store already done. Now we get into the part that a lot of people don't do, which is the photographing and listing. Here's the key. A lot of people stretch out work because they add in things in the middle. So here's something that's interesting. Every time you pick up your phone, you might lose 20 minutes. Let me know in the comment section below if this has happened to you. Somebody texts you, you open up your phone, you answer the text. Oh, you know what? I'll check Instagram. Oh, you know what? I'll check YouTube. And you lose 20 minutes or all the way up to the whole day. Photography and listing should be one session. Photograph and list. So a lot of people, including me, make this huge mistake thinking that photographing all at once and then listing throughout the week is faster, or have somebody photograph for you and then you make listings from the photographs. It's not faster. I've done every single version of that and they're all slower. Then you take the photos and list immediately after because it's still fresh in your brain. If you only have an hour, I recommend doing 10. I don't recommend taking 30 sets of photos and then stretching out the 30 throughout the week. It's not faster. It's way slower to do it that way. Plus you're always scatterbrained, and that's not the best way of doing it. The best way of doing it is to photograph and list immediately after, where you remember all the item specifics. It's best to do it with the item in front of you so you can check the defects, item specifics, condition as you go. Grading is really important. So now we've already done all of our shipping. We've already done all of our listing. Our company is awesome. The only thing that's the problem right now is sourcing. So in this example, I actually set aside 4 hours per day to source. I think one of the biggest mistakes in reselling is people not understanding that sourcing takes a really long time. That's one of the other reasons why, if you get to the point where you can buy bulk, or you have a buyer, or you have the ability to get incoming items that are ready to go, that's why your hourly rate can double. If you don't have to do any sourcing, instead of $36 an hour, you're making $73 an hour because you skipped the sourcing part. So in here, I also put an hour for going to the post office and getting lunch. But if you schedule a pickup, you don't have to go to the post office. So you're just taking an hour off for lunch. Depending on your schedule, you might want to flip-flop this, and you might want to go sourcing right after you're done shipping. If you want to get to the store early, right when they open, and get the good stuff, I recommend that. Also, the afternoon shift isn't so bad, especially if you go reverse traffic, because essentially you want to be coming back the opposite of traffic. So wherever you live, arrange this so you're not sitting in traffic and you're getting essentially the restock in the afternoon. So I've seen it work both ways. People like going in the afternoon because that's when they restock, or they like getting there first thing in the morning and getting all the items. So finally, this all adds up to 11 hours a day, and 11 hours a day includes lunch, and this is to make 6 figures. So guys, you don't have to make $100,000 a year. This is just a plan if you want to. I remember when I first started, I asked a lot of people, how do I make a full-time living? And a lot of people gave me the answer of what their day looks like, but no one told me how to make 6 figures. I actually didn't know there are resellers making that much money reselling, and I also didn't know there are resellers making millions of dollars listing. So I'm gonna give you guys a reason why people are able to make so much money. To make $1 million a year, you have to make $500 an hour, and I'll tell you how to make $500 an hour as a reseller. You eliminate sourcing. So you go from $36 an hour to $72. Now instead of listing and photographing, you just list the same thing over and over again. So there's a reason why people who focus on one item become millionaires a lot faster than resellers, because they divert their attention super duper wide. But if you spend all your time making pizza bagels, and pizza bagels are now sold at all 9,000 Starbucks locations, it's pretty easy to become a millionaire because you have 9,000 people pushing your product and it's exactly the same. So again, think about this. As you're a reseller, you start as an everything seller, selling everything, and over time, it becomes more and more and more narrow, so you're selling less and less different SKUs, to the point where, to be honest, you're just selling one thing over and over again perfectly, and that's how you become really rich reselling. So if you guys need more help, join us at patreon.com/theresellerspodcast. We can go over each one of these steps with you. If you join at the annual level, you will get access to our eBay white papers, which is a discussion that my colleague Tech and Sports and I go over. And we go over every single step on how to build a successful store. And remember, the promotions part, notice how that was not in the schedule. It's not important. And if you want to add promotions, marketing, things to make your items sell faster, you have to do it after all of this stuff, not instead. So a lot of people spend their whole day thinking about coupons, markdowns, the latest and greatest, but they've missed the most important part, which is getting your listings up in finding quality items. So I appreciate you guys. Until next time, make progress daily.